Look at Max up there. Look at Max. Hi, Max. Max. Yeah, I'm gonna have to build him some shelves. That's a fact. Yo, you guys, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and start part 2 of the Cleat Wall. As you guys can see, I mean, the wall's there. And the only thing on it is the one thing I did last time. And even then I didn't do it on camera. So, all the stuff on the desk right now needs to go up there. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build some units for them. And we're gonna go ahead and put them on the wall. It's gonna be great. I'm going to attempt to fill that wall, and I'm sure with the stuff that's all around my shop, I could probably do it. So, let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to build one for my clamps. So I started off by laying out all the clamps that I have on this table so I can get a good picture of what clamps I got. So the width of each one of these specific clamps is about 1 inch, and I got 6 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and make it about 8 inches. So I'll give it a little bit of room in case I want to add another one or 2 of these specific styles in here. And for this one, I'm just using a piece of 1/2 inch, just regular construction plywood, because that's what I got, and I don't want to waste any of the nice big stuff I got on a little thing like this when I'm going to need it for bigger, heftier stuff. Alright, so I'm kind of doing an unconventional design off of a picture I found on the Googles, and right now I'm just kind of seeing how big this is going to be if they were all hanging on to it. So in the process of clamping it down, one of these clamps broke. Right, that's what I get for buying tools at Harbor Freight, I suppose. And yeah, I guess it just means I get to go buy more. Yay! Do a little test kind of measurement before I keep going to see if the idea in my head is a feasible one. So we have the back area where the cleat's going to be. I have a spacer that's going to hold just the sides, and then I have the front mark that I just made. And essentially they're just going to hang down like that. This is the small one complete. I had to put a little block there because I did not do math right, and so when the cleat sits there. Without this, it just falls off kind of. So that's kind of a little bit of support for it. Those aren't heavy, so it's fine. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing on the planet, but you know what? It's going to do its job until I get a whole bunch more and have to go ahead and redo a whole clamp wall anyway. So for the few number of clamps I got, it's going to work, and I'm going to use it. But what I will do is I'll use this similar design, and I'll go ahead and I'm going to do it out of 2x4s, and I'm going to put a box, basically make a box out of 2x4s, and then put the cleat on the back of that, and that's going to be for the little heftier versions of those, and that will work. Let's get to it. Okay, so I used to have one of these metal peg boards you just screw into the wood behind it, and it used to be over there. So that wall I'm going to turn into a cleat wall system anyways. It may not be pretty, I think it's going to be pretty rudimentary, but it's going to be later in life. But there was one of those, and I was like, man, I really want to use this for some stuff, but I want it on the wall. And so what I ended up doing is I unscrewed it from the wall back there, and I just made a little cleat thing for it. Look at that. And then it just goes right on the wall there. It's long enough to work. This keeps it from being stable. And then I can go ahead and put a bunch of light items on there. I was going to go ahead and, put some pins and stuff to hang things on. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Alright, so the next part, we're going to go ahead. I want to take some 2x4. I'm going to measure it out to 12 inches. Go ahead, I'm going to carry that line all the way across, and I'm going to go chop it over at the miter saw. Alright, so I went ahead and I cut two little pieces of 2x4 into 1.5 inches wide, and they're going to sit like that, and then it's going to be sandwiched on top.
A few moments later.
So the one for the bigger one, I ended up taking some 2x6s and just cut a little piece out for the edge, and then put 2 screws into each of the front and the back plates, and then I made the cleat go all the way down, As you can see, it goes all the way down. I mean, she's probably way heftier than she needs to be, but I think she's gonna be good. So let's load her up. So she looks like loaded up with the clamps that I have for her. Those are my F-styles, right? Next to some bars and a pipe clamp. I have a bunch of quick squeeze clamps I still need to do, and then I have some big parallel clamps. The big parallel clamps I might actually go ahead and do in traditional fashion, and I might not. I'm gonna think about it for a minute. But everything that I've made with that one and these two so far, and even the torch, has all been scraps. I watch lots of other makers channels and they have really nice stuff, and one of my hurdles was, yo, when am I going to start building this stuff, because I can't afford, you know, nice Baltic birch plywood or even the nicer stuff, much less any kind of wood that isn't scrap. So I watched video after video after video. If they have a YouTube channel, I've probably watched it, so I'm subscribed to almost all of them, all the big names, if you guys watch any other woodworking ones. And I was like, hey, I'll just take some of their designs and make them out of like straight scrap. And this isn't like scrap where I built something, this is like scrap, like scrap, scrap. And yeah, you gotta start somewhere, right? Like, I don't have a whole lot where I would love a nice, beautiful freaking wall with clamps, but I don't have that many clamps to justify it yet. I'm gonna be buying more, of course. These Harbor Freight ones, not gonna buy again. Nope. I'll use them until they break, and then I'm gonna replace them with probably some more Jorgens. They're pretty freaking dope so far. Or some nice Bessie clamps. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna work for what it's intended to use. I recommend anyone who wants to build anything their own of any kind, just do it. If you gotta make a, you know, lower quality version of it, that's all wood you got, just do it. These weren't hard to build. And then build a better one later. Alright, so for the squeeze clamps, I went ahead and it's going to be super simple. I literally took some scrap 2x4, laminated them together. That's two pieces, so it's 2 of 2. And then I'm going to just put a cleat on the back with maybe a sideboard like I did the other one. We'll figure that out in a minute. So they're done. I put some screws in the back. It was glued, nailed, and screwed. Got 2 of them. Let's put it on the wall, see how she does. There's the bottom one. And there's that upper one. It seems to be holding it pretty good. The size of it's a little overkill for all the small ones, but I figure I'll just put more big ones there as I get them, and then I'll transfer the small ones to a different one. Those guys right there, they're just going to stay there for now. I'll be getting some more, and then when I transfer it over to the other wall, I'll build a nice rack for those guys. But they're there, they're kind of out of the way. I can put those on a back rack for when I don't use them, it's no big deal. But that is the scrap racks. Scrap rack. Rack scraps. Scrappy racks. Scrappy racks. That's a good one. Scrappy racks. They costed nothing. They were super easy to build. The hardest part was waiting for glue to set, and even then it wasn't very long. Alright, so there you have it. We got a rack system. We have clamp storage. A little pegboard thing I made. I didn't video any of that part, but yeah, it's for drills and stuff. You know, there's a hammer in it, don't worry about that. And then a little place for my torch and branding iron, which I'll put more in. Max approves of it. He loves the stuff. Don't you, buddy? Don't you, buddy? He's a little chonker. He's a little chonker. But if you guys really like this video, go ahead, subscribe, share it with your friends, hit the like button, and I'll keep doing stuff. Till next time.